never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Fine, I'm not.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd Family part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Well, college basketball starts in about a week and a half, so I'm going to talk some college basketball coming up here in a few minutes. But first, I want to tell you where I will be this weekend. Saturday night, I will be at Gold Dust Park. Not one word, two words. Gold Dust Park, which is located in Villa Rica, Georgia. 646 Industrial Boulevard for West Georgia Wrestling. And I will quickly tell you some of the matches we'll be having coming up Saturday night. We're going to have Brad Lynch, Mark Hanna, Marco, and the House of Tims versus AJ Black, Zach Buchanan, Bull Buchanan, and Frankie Valentine. If you're a longtime viewer of the WWE, you know the name Bull Buchanan. He was there for many years. I loved when he was in Right to Censor back in the day. He will be at Gold Dust Park Saturday night, 646 Industrial Boulevard in Villa Rica, Georgia. We're also going to have Lamar Phillips going one-on-one with Aaron Dallas, and Bobby Moore going one-on-one with Jaden Vane. All that and more is coming up Saturday night, Gold Dust Park, Villa Rica, Georgia, 646 Industrial Boulevard for West Georgia Wrestling. Gates open at 7 o'clock, and bell time will be 8 o'clock, and tickets are $10 for all adults. And Sunday afternoon, I will once again be at 6687 Highway 72, W, Colbert, Georgia, for some UWF wrestling. This show is called UWF Revenge. We'll be having a trick or treat at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Bell time for UWF Revenge will be at 4:30 Sunday afternoon. And a few of the matches that you will see Sunday afternoon: Nick Halen and Eli Smiles in a tag team match against Curtis Coleman and Stevie Ray Frost. Hunter James goes one-on-one with Vari Morales for the UWF Heritage Championship. DC Washington versus Jaden Vane in a grudge match. A street fight with Justin Sane versus Luca Daniels. And Dynamic Dexter will be the special guest referee. If you watch Monday Night Raw, you saw Luca Daniels on Raw Monday night. He was one of the 4 men that took on Omos in the 4-on-1 handicap match. And we're going to have a tag team match: Jacob Ashworth and Marcus Adams against the Grapplers. All that and more is coming up Sunday afternoon at UWF Revenge. Bell time will be 4:30, right after our trick-or-treat at 4 o'clock at 6687 Highway 72, W, Colbert, Georgia. And as I was saying earlier, college basketball starts In about a week and a half, Clemson plays Monday night, the first Monday in November. And of course, to me, no collegiate sport, whatever it is, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, soccer, it doesn't matter. If Clemson has a team in that sport, then in my personal opinion, that sport does not start until Clemson plays. So Monday night, the first Monday in November at 7 o'clock, is when college basketball officially gets underway. But I figured we would go ahead and look at our preseason AP top 25 poll for the world of college basketball, since college basketball is less than 2 weeks away. And this is the college basketball AP poll that came out last week, not the one that came out back in like April or May, but the one that's actually here now that basketball season is here. North Carolina is pretty much a unanimous number one. I think just about anybody and everybody who knows anything about basketball is saying North Carolina is clearly the best team. Gonzaga, number 2. Houston, number 3. Kentucky, number 4. And Kansas is number 5. I feel bad for Kentucky because they're always ranked really, really high. But John Calipari pretty much puts off the appearance now that he doesn't care whether he wins in the tournament or not. He brings in 4 and 5 star athletes. They're great players. They do good in the regular season, but in the tournament, they just fall apart. And he seems like he has no desire to do better because he pretty much has a lifetime contract there. There was a big dispute a few weeks back at Kentucky between Kentucky basketball coach John Calipari and Kentucky football coach Mark Stoops, because Mark Stoops made the comment that Kentucky is no longer a basketball school. Kentucky is now a football school. And if you don't really follow it really good, you might almost believe that, because Kentucky's gone from being a Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four basketball school to pretty much being out now by the second round. But you still can't call them a football school because they pretty much go 8-4 in football every year. And going 8-4 in football does not make you a football school. So the basketball team has become average. The football team has been average now for a decade. But in order to become a football school, Mark Stoops is going to have to win something major, and I just don't think he's going to do that. I don't think there's a coach in America in college football, or any sport for that matter, that has it made like Mark Stoops does. You're talking about a man that has no pressure on him at all, and I'm not by any means trying to take shots at the guy. I'm not. I think what he's done in Kentucky is great, but he has no pressure on him at all. He could stay at Kentucky for 50 more years and go 7-5 every single year and be their coach for 50 more years. He never has to win a national championship. He never has to win his conference. He never has to win his division. He can go 7-5 or 8-4 every single year, and he will never be on the hot seat. He never has to beat a top 5 team. He never has to beat a top 10 team. All he has to do is go 7-5, 8-4 every year, and he's set for life. So we really don't know if Mark Stoops had to perform under pressure, could he do it? Because he doesn't have to. All he has to do consistently on a year in, year out basis is beat the teams he's supposed to beat, and he's fine. There's probably no other coach in football or any other sport that can say that all they got to do is consistently win the games they're supposed to win, and they're fine. There ain't many football programs in America that could go 7-5 for 50 years and be satisfied with it. But Kentucky would. And that's why they're still a basketball school. Because even though their basketball program has fallen off and fallen on hard times now for about a decade, if all of a sudden their basketball program fell really off and they started going 18-12, 17-13, John Calipari would get fired. They are no longer performing in the tournament but he's at least winning 22, 23 games in the regular season. So in the regular season, they're fine. But if they all of a sudden drop down to 16, 17 wins, he'd be gone. Whereas Mark Stoops can win 7 or 8 games in football, and he's not going anywhere ever. Number 6, Baylor. Number 7, Duke. Number 8, UCLA. Number 9, Creighton. And number 10, Arkansas. Now, I know Duke is highly ranked. They always are, but they got to prove me wrong. But in my personal opinion, Duke is not going to be a top 10 team because Duke has too many freshmen. And I'm not saying the freshmen aren't good, but I think by now it's been proven that all freshmen don't win national championships. If so, you wouldn't see teams like Kentucky go out early every year because they'd have experienced players. The year Duke had Zion Williamson, they had 3 of the best freshmen college basketball's ever seen, and all 3 players are now killing it in the NBA. And that year, they barely got by the first round of the tournament. You do not win national championships with a bunch of freshmen. You have to have some guys that have experience. So I don't think Duke will be that good. Maybe they'll prove me wrong. I don't see it. Number 11, Tennessee. Number 12, Texas. Number 13, Indiana. Number 14, TCU. And number 15, Auburn. Villanova is 16th. Arizona, 17th. Virginia, 18th. San Diego State, 19th. And Alabama rounds out the top 20. And 21 through 25 is Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, Dayton, and Texas Tech. And I know there are a lot of people that don't start watching college basketball until college football ends, and that's fine. Me personally, I watch both, and to me it's not really that hard to do because college football is really only a Saturday thing. I know there's a couple games on Thursday nights and Friday nights, and sometimes you even get one on Tuesday and Wednesday, but not every week. But there'll be college basketball on every night of the week. So if it's Monday night and there's no college football on, why not watch college basketball? If it's a Thursday night and there's no college football on, why not watch college basketball? And there's never college football on Sunday afternoons unless it's bowl season. So on Sunday afternoon, Sunday night, why not watch college basketball? To me, I can do both, but I know so many people act like they just cannot watch basketball until football ends. I think if you're a sports fan, you should watch any sport that's on. And don't say, well, since it's a certain time of the year, I can't watch that sport. If it's on and you like it, watch it. So I figured we'd go ahead and talk about it since the season is right around the corner. And I know most teams start out with 1 or 2 games against really bad teams, but there's always some really good competitive games in the first couple weeks of the season. I hate the fact that ESPN got rid of their 24-hour marathon of college basketball that they pretty much did as far back as I can remember. I enjoyed it because it gave teams that otherwise won't be on TV the rest of the year a chance to be on TV. It might be at 2 o'clock in the morning, but hey, there's going to be somebody that's going to be up that's going to watch it because they like college basketball. They just happen to be up and the game is on. But ESPN got rid of that, and I hate that. But there's still always some good games on the first couple weeks of the season. Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me know. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. What do you call a pudgy psychic? A fortune teller. And that wraps it up for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.